Hey everybody, so today we're going to be looking at the signed limited edition of Misery, which was published by Suntup Editions in 3 states. The first state, unfortunately, I do not own anymore, the lettered state. It was one of 26 copies, and I did own one briefly, but regrettably had to let it go. So Mark will put a photograph over here of me holding my lettered Misery, so you can see what it looked like. No longer, but it was a beautiful book. It was, or it still is a beautiful book. The best thing about it was the wooden tray case that was an actual mock-up of a old typewriter box. Beautiful wooden woodwork there. The book itself was beautiful. It had actual typewriter keys inset into the cover, as you can see in the photo, and it was just a stunning book. In my personal opinion, second only to The Lettered Horns by Joe Hill. That one, the book itself is so much nicer than anything else. It bumps it up above the lettered Misery. But the box, the Misery box, is just unbelievable. So if you ever have a chance to look at the lettered Misery or own one, it's just something else. So nowadays it's selling for like $30,000. So I, for one, will not be owning it again, but I'm happy that I did briefly. But it's a gorgeous book, and I wish I could show it to you in person. What I can show you is the numbered edition. This is the numbered one. I was lucky enough to get in with Suntup at the very beginning. I purchased the Eyes of the Dragon portfolio, and that gave you rights to this first book, which was Misery. And once you got Misery, you had rights, which I kept up until about a year ago. But anyway, this is the numbered Misery. It was one of 250 copies. It has this neat little wooden axe that holds the tray case together. This motif would be repeated down the road with Red Dragon. It's kind of cool, but you take the little wooden axe out and then you can open the tray case, which is a beautiful piece of work. And the book itself is just as nice. It's quarter bound in black leather and has this beautiful red, I think this is silk binding, with really lovely end papers. And the limitation page is in the front, signed by King. 250 copies were done. Seeing as how popular this was, it easily could have been 4 times that number and would have sold out. Anyway, the book does feature full color illustrations throughout. Another one. And what's really cool, and I have to give credit where credit is due, Michael Cross came to my library to visit my library. I had no idea, and he pointed this out to me. So this is there in all of the states, but you can see this little mark on the text block. And when you open to that little mark, it's a spatter of blood. This is on the page, spoilers coming if you haven't read Misery. This is on the page where Annie Wilkes dismembers Paul, and there's like a blood splatter on the page. That's kind of cool. But anyway, that is the numbered state of Misery. And there you have it, numbered Misery. And now we're going to look at the artist's edition of Misery, also published by Suntup. This one came in a slipcase that has typewriter key illustrations on one side, title on the spine, a little bit of blood on the other side. The book comes in a jacket. It's the only state that had a dust jacket. For an artist edition, it's a really lovely book. It's fully bound in cloth. It's got this sort of typewriter keyboard motif on the cover, a little bit like the lettered one, but not nearly as nice. The lettered one, they're actually real typewriter keys. And this little stuck-on piece on the spine. The book. So the end papers match the back of the slipcase, and it does have a signature page signed by the artist. Two artists, or an artist and someone else. I'm sorry, I don't know who those people are. Dave Christensen, maybe two artists. But anyway, I don't recall how many copies of this were done, but it does have the same interior, full color illustrations. If I can find one. There we go. And that's, did I show you? It's got a nice wraparound jacket. And that's the artist state of the limited edition. I'll put that away later. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching.